Steve Plater looks to have been using the rear tyre a bit heavily.
There were some black lines being laid through Copse and elsewhere.
Now then, Mackenzie has slipped back then behind. This is 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th we are looking at the moment. I think that order is going to change. Mackenzie has had a bit of a go at the front. Down goes, that's Crawford. John Crawford is down. John Crawford, he's got a broken big toe already. Went back up to Scotland after Snetterton. 5-hour drive up to Scotland, then a 5-hour drive back down here. Well, that is the man that looks after it. Chris Walker, Paul Denning. And we look down at Hodgson's team. Colin Wright to the left of your picture again. Paul Denning has watched his teams to fall over but get back on, so the bike damage is not too bad. Now then, we've got a few more back markers coming in. Yellow plates, of course, signify the privateers.
They're in their own fight, their own championship, and are about to be involved. James Hayden gets a bit of a sit up there. Plater looking smoother than I thought, actually, now.
So David Hill leads the privateers and a long way in front. David Hill then having a great ride out on the Kawasaki, so Hill well, having a good day. Actually, he's got better and better over the last couple of the rounds. I think he started off on an SP1 Honda at the beginning of the season. He knew that wasn't going to be a lot of good, so he's jumped ship and gone to Kawasaki. So then, the battle for 4th. 22 is Steve Plater, still holding out James Hayden. Oh, dear me, here we go.
There's trouble.
Indeed, in droves.
Number 34 is the man, that's Chris Wilson from Aberdeen, who's about to get the 4th place
treatment.
He is. They've got him now on the straight. All of them have got him, and now there's absolute complete pack of... Hayden gets it. Hayden gets 4th place, but he has a queue in front of him of 1, 2, 3 back markers involved in their own dice. Where can James get them? They're coming under bridge now. Oh no, he didn't. Oh no, he didn't. 1, 2 of them.
Oh, James Hayden, hot knife through butter. Take that.
Plater's going around the outside of number...
Oh, go on.
And now inside that one.
That's artistry.
That is great riding from Steve Plater.
Superb stuff.
And
You've got to do that to keep on terms with James Hayden, because James Hayden otherwise is going to be away with the lads, especially where we are, lap 17 of 20 we're on at the moment. Hodgson, Walker, Reynolds still lead. There it is. Hayden is in 4th place at the moment, and then it's Plater behind him, not Hislop. So
they stitched up the 2 Scotsmen there brilliantly. Hislop and Mackenzie left behind the back markers by the 2 Englishmen.
So let's take a look down the leaderboard into the top 10. Hodgson, Walker, Reynolds are your top 3. Hayden, Plater, Mackenzie, Hislop, Emmett, Young, Tosland and Paul Brown, followed by David Hill in 10th place. So this is the battle for 4th place. 5 is Hayden through Ireland chicane and shaking the front end of that Kawasaki in anger is a man who will not give up, Steve Plater. He's hanging right in there. There's the top 5. Hodgson, Walker, Reynolds, they are away at the front. Big gaps between them, so no problem for them, barring a problem for them. And Hayden is in 4th place and Plater's in 5th.
I know what you mean.
Correct my Essex if you dare.
No, I won't even start that, Keith. But unusually strung out apart from this dice for 4th place, which is providing quite enough entertainment, thank you, at the moment. James Hayden's come through a lot of high-quality traffic to hang on to this 4th place at the moment.
High-quality traffic, but he dealt with it fairly ruthlessly, didn't he? But likewise, Steve Plater had the longer route round, but he's right there. I'll tell you what, Hayden is not going to get this all his own way. Steve Plater has taken to a 750cc Superbike absolutely brilliantly this year.
The first time out was last year. He got a works Kawasaki right at the Bowl d'Or, the biggest 24-hour race in the world.
What a shock that was.
Pole position, would you believe?
I would.
And
here we go, back with the leaders then. Let's talk about Neil Hodgson. He has ridden superbly well. He is 4.6 seconds in front of Chris Walker in 2nd place. He only has back markers in himself to blame if there's a problem. John Reynolds is massively, 8 seconds further behind Walker, and then you've got something like 7 seconds further back to that battle for 4th place at Havenley. So no problems at all with 2 laps to go. This is an absolute textbook ride from the INS Ducati man, Neil Hodgson. And Neil Hodgson, I predict somewhat easily that we will see him move straight back to World Superbikes very soon. He's won a World Superbike race this year. In fact, Troy Bayliss, the reigning British Superbike champion, is here at Silverstone at the moment. We'll try and get a bit of a word with him later if we can. But Troy Bayliss, the reigning British Superbike man, went off to America to race in the American Championship, came out of that...
At Ducati's instigation.
came back to take Carl Fogarty's place after Fogarty goes out with injury, and then comes and wins a World Superbike race in his short notice at Hockenheim. Unbelievable stuff. So, got to say, INS Ducati at the moment breeding men capable of winning at world level.
And Bayliss swapped from Dunlop tyres to Michelin to do that as well, which has not been an easy route for some people. Here's Walker in second place still.
Fritz Walker on the National Tyre Suzuki. Well, you've got to say it, I didn't think I would say it, he's been blown off, hasn't he, really? Paul Denning there will be wondering what to do with the team. That's Walker's team. And Colin Wright, well, there is a picture of health and happiness, isn't there?
And contentment.
Chewing on his gum, or is it somebody's...
Yes. Well, I once asked him to take the subject quickly, Colin, when he was managing Walker at Kawasaki, and Christian finished second in the championship, what's his bonus for that? He said, he's got a job next year.
Yes, he can live.
Yes.
He was the one that famously wouldn't hire Scott Smart, our co-commentator, and we'll see a bit more of him racing later, wouldn't hire Scott Smart because of his hairstyle. He wouldn't have his hair cut. So
just jealousy then, Colin, that wasn't it, really?
Yes, Scott Smart could still grow some at that time. Sorry, Cole, but we're a long way from you and you can't reach us.
Yes, now we can get out before you can get here, mate. Yes.
Here we go then, Neil Hodgson, back marker. Who is it? We'll take a look in a moment.
Lots of them.
Well, they'll be issued with offside fairly soon.
Brett Sampson.
Brett Sampson, yes, well, I think he's on one of those Hondas, isn't he? The SP1.
He is.
They've not been the most successful machines in privateer hands this year. I think they're a bit, well, mind you, it is the first year of them coming out. Hodgson having to sit up a little bit there and take notice of where the back markers are. He's got them thick and fast. It's not going to be a problem for him because he has won the race, absolutely. He took his time with the back markers. The checker flag came out. Hodgson didn't need to make the pass. He got it all done. Hodgson crossing the line, 2.9 seconds in front of Chris Walker. That will be demoralising indeed. And we see a typically smooth and a typically, well, happy Neil Hodgson at winning yet another British Superbike race. Really, you've got to say, Jules, that was a class job. Reynolds comes through in third place. James Hayden held on to fourth place. Steve Plater thwarted and has to make do with fifth, but if he wasn't on the podium, he won't be too bothered about that. Neil McKenzie sixth, Hislop seventh. Paul Young at last. Paul Young getting somewhere like on the pace. There in eighth place. Sean Emmett on the Honda in ninth place, just in front of another works Honda, James Tosland, in 10th. Best privateer, David Hill.
God bless him.
Yeah, he's just got in front of John Crawford on the work Suzuki. That's because Crawford spent some time picking his bike up off the deck.
3-point turning.
I expect the biggest injury he's going to get from that is a slapped wrist off of Paul Denning, possibly. Chris Walker and Neil Hodgson, yes, demonstrating that they are sports, and I'm glad to say
they are. They are, yeah.
It's only the team that seems to be falling out at the moment. Team managers, the riders never seem to be at loggerheads after that incident at Alton Park or the preceding. Oh, we almost got a clicker there. Can we get a clicker? Can he click?
A heel clicker you're referring to, Supercross terminology.
I'd like to see a bit of that, I know, yeah.
Yes, nearly Neil, who used to be a motocrosser. Well, so did Walker.
I'll tell you what, if he could do a clicker on the road on a work Ducati, then I would be impressed.
You've got to be Valentino Rossi to do that, haven't you, really?
Contortionist, no, I don't think even he could do it, Julian.
I've seen him do it.
Clicker on a...
not on a Superbike, no, on a Grand Prix bike. Silence, Keith doesn't believe me.
I don't, actually. Do not believe he did a clicker on any...
His legs are about 10 foot long, he's put him around the front of the...
I expect to see the tape as Julian trips over his own bike.
So, works Hondas, Keith. Tosland and...
let's talk about the race result first, shall we, Julian? So, a 2.9 second thrashing for Chris Walker from Neil Hodgson at the top. John Reynolds, the series leader, holds onto his series lead, but by only 1 point, courtesy of that 16 points that he got for third place. So, Hodgson closing right in. James Hayden, fourth. Steve Plater, fifth. Neil McKenzie, sixth. Fighting sixth, but he'll be expecting better than that next time out. Steve Hislop in seventh place, holding out Ray Stringer's Yamaha man, the level 3 Yamaha of Paul Young. Sean Emmett there in ninth place on the Travis Perkins Honda Britain motorcycle, just in front of the Demon Vimto Honda of James Tosland. Paul Brown on the other Virgin Mobile Yamaha in 11th place. David Hill, the best privateer on the Kawasaki now. 1 lap down maybe, but in front of John Crawford, the works Suzuki, who picked his bike up off the floor. Gordon Blackley, that'll do Blackley well in front of John Crockford. Crockford, the privateer leader at the moment, a runaway privateer leader. But while we're looking at the result of race 1, we can go down now into pits lane. I think Jonathan Green has finished eating his sandwich and is going to do some work.
Well, we tried to. Neil, what a great start to the weekend. I mean, that's a country mile, 2.9 seconds in your kind of racing.
Yeah, well, the last lap I just followed those back markers around. I didn't really want to sort of spoil their race, if you know what I mean. I knew I had 4 seconds, so quite enjoyed that last lap. I just rode around and watched the back markers have a bit of a dice, so
You said before the race you were a little bit concerned that you're a half a second faster than everybody in qualifying, that they might try to stalk you, try to stay with you. Obviously Chris tried, but he couldn't keep with you.
Yeah, early on, sounds like a funny excuse, but I got a massive bug on my visor, and it went underneath my tear off, so I took my tear off, and I had this bug, and it happened on about lap 3, and it was really hard to concentrate because I couldn't really see the apex of the corners. But I tried to just forget about it, but it was obviously, it's there. It's like riding with one eye, so I found it quite difficult the first sort of 5 or 6 laps. Then I relaxed a little bit and managed to put